Welcome to week 3 of our course. Week 3 is going to be very much building on things that we have covered in both week 1 and week 2. All right, we're going to take texts like the David Foster Wallace text and the Cottingham text, which we have already read, which you have already done assignments on, received feedback on, and have worked through. And we're going to then start putting everything together because by the end of this week, you will be working around with a pretty good rough draft of a paper for this semester. One paper, there'll be another one later. But this week really is kind of pulling everything together. So, all of the skills from week 1 and week 2, you're going to add to the skills that we are honing in week 3, and you're going to be taking some old work and revising it, and you're going to be adding to that, and all of those things will come together and you'll start seeing a paper set itself out. As far as this week is concerned, I have 3 sections from the handbook that you need to look over: organization, academic writing conventions, and the thesis. Now, we started working on thesis just a little bit at the end of week 2, and we're going to really go into that a little bit further. But in this overview, I just want to explain one thing. I'm more concerned with your abilities to take one text and another text and be able to combine ideas from both. Taking a direct quote from text number 1 and a direct quote from text number 2, tying them together in a paragraph, and using the fit it method and the 3 I's and making sure that that's a pretty good, tight paragraph, a body paragraph. And every good paper is probably about 3. It's not a hard, fast rule, depending on how long your paper is going to be. About 3 really good connection paragraphs. We're focusing on this first because I have found historically, both in everything that I've read, everything that I've taught, student feedback, everything. If you work on the connections and you work on the body paragraphs first, coming up with a strong thesis is really easy. Okay, so it might seem a little weird that we're not going from a thesis first and then we're going to all these other things. It works. Trust me on this. So we're going to go over organization, which helps with your writing and putting things together. Conventions of academic writing, which is really important because we want to get away from meta commentary, which we'll talk about. We want to get away from machine gun sentences, which we'll talk about. We want to make sure that you have blended complex sentences as opposed to very short burst sentences that are just declarative and that are just like, here's an idea, here's another idea, here's another idea. We're going to get everyone away from listing information and making a nice flowing and connected paragraph. A few of those. Then we're going to talk about how we can see the things that are in common with those paragraphs, and we can come up with a strong thesis. Okay? By the end of this week, you'll have a strong thesis. You'll have at least 2 connection paragraphs, and we're going to start thinking about moving ahead and elaborating on all that stuff. Okay? As always, you will have assignments due on Thursday as well as assignments due on Sunday. Okay, so this week we have 2 assignments that are due on Thursday. It's taking the Sunday, I believe it was your Sunday paragraph from week 2, the connection paragraph, and you're going to revise it based on the feedback that I've given you, based on all of the new information that you've gotten from this week. You're going to revise it and you're going to post that. You're also going to then, taking all of the information that you have, come up with another connection paragraph. All right, so another set of quotes, another quote from text number 1, and another quote from text number 2. How can you connect them? Fit them into the fit it formula for a paragraph. Use the 3 I's. How can you use the conventions of academic writing to write a nice and polished paragraph? So at the end of Thursday, you're going to have at least 2 really great body paragraphs. As far as the assignment on Sunday is concerned, We're going to get your thesis in. Based off of your first two connection paragraphs, we're going to see what a good thesis could be based off of that. You're going to have that information. You're going to be able to kind of work backwards to get a good thesis based off of the work that you already have. And then you're also going to, the second part of Sunday is give us a good introduction paragraph. Okay? So that's what happens this week. We're taking everything from last week and the week prior, we're kind of putting everything together, and we're learning these skills. We're building up from the ground, going up to the sky. Okay? So that's what's coming. All of the readings will be made available through links. If you have a problem with the links, if you have problems with the concepts, if you have problems with anything, you email me, you let me know. I've already had several email and Zoom meetings with students. I've even had a phone conversation or two with some students. So if you need help, please feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to work around schedules within reason, and I definitely want to make sure that you do not suffer in silence. Okay? If you need help, let me know, and I'll be right there to help you with concepts, links, documents, anything. Okay? All right, you smart people, you go do what it is that you do.